They will trade all the parts for the best car.
I'm not gonna trade anything. These are my parts. They stole them from me. You understand this?
It's Jenny. Elisa. Run it up, run it up. Bet you can't rack up these checks. Put $100 on deck, 1,000 in another chain on my neck. Yeah, serving face, long waist. Boss bitches, we don't play. All this ass, come get you some boy. Bet you never had a girl like us. Hop in my G-Wagon, on the highway we freestyling. And it's like that, like that. You like that, let the sun roof down. Let's get out of this town and throw our hands up. So throw your hands up. Jay, and now we go together so well. Me and my girl about to drop another bombshell. Work it, yeah, you know we vibing. Twerk it, hey, you know we shining. Vibing, hey, 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 hey. Vibing, hey, hey. Middle fingers up, tinted windows down. Turn the volume, and that's surround sound. Falling like kings, we coming for the throne. Chasing all the dreams, we make it on our own. You ain't flexing hard if you ain't got the heart. Real, recognize real, we set us apart. So fuck what they say, we living life bold. Friends by my side, that's pure gold. In my G-Wagon, on the highway we freestyle.
Holy shit!
Like that, you like that. Let the sun roof down, let's get out of this town and throw our hands up. So throw your hands up. Yeah, they, and now we go together so well. Me and my girl about to drop another bombshell. Work it, yeah, you know we vibing. Twerk it, hey, you know we shining. But
welcome to another edition of Thunder
Vibing, hey, hey. And when they hate, we just elevate. Friends got my back, we ain't never late. Powers in my veins, love's on my grind. Dissing all the haters, leave them far behind. Out here, and now we go together so well. Me and my girl about to drop another bombshell. Work it, yeah, you know we vibing. Twerk it, hey, you know we shining. Vibing,
She's on fire.
Hey, 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 vibing, hey, hey. It's done.
Years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
You just made the list!
Like this, now I flip it, put a twist with that beat on repeat. And when you can't defeat, am I late? Like girl, what's so pressed? It's my glow, what's your stress? Say my name, Jenny Ruby J. In my lane now, it's a mess. Pretty girls walk like this.
Holy shit!
Like this. Pretty girls do it like this. Yeah, like this. Pretty girls girls walk like this. Pretty girls talk like this. Pretty girls do it like this. Yeah, like this. Red lip poppin', heels click clack. Got these copycats trying to trace my track. You talk big, but you whisper when I pass. Queenin' in the scene, girl, you just flash. I don't chase that track like that. New nails, new bag, yeah, I'm all that. Light up the room when I step inside. Too bad, so sad. Watch me glide. Diamonds drip like my energy. Top stick.
Hey, Nyobi. Nyobi Comics is freaking awesome. What?
Pretty girls walk like this. Pretty girls talk like this. Pretty girls do it like this.
New age.
Like this.
An age of freedom. And oh no! The 300 Spartans gave their last breath to defend it.
Yeah, like this. Lights flash, cameras zoom. I make silence fill the room. No filter, I'm the truth. Pretty with the savage mood.
Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, to hear the lamentation of your women. That is good.
Like this. Pretty girls walk like this. Pretty girls talk like this. Pretty girls do it like this. Yeah, like this. Oh yeah, you like the shine, but you don't do the grind. You show up when it's done, not when it's hard.
We will stand and fight.
You take the credit, run, but I'm the one who made
We will stand and fight.
For myself, I keep it clean, but clean don't get the dream.
Haven't you noticed we've been sharing our culture with you all morning?
I do the dirty, dirty, dirty work. Hands on ya, make it work. Sweat drips, heels hit the.
Then what I say? I said I will shut that shit down.
Move like that, yeah, feel that hurt. Lay the tracks, now watch you surf. Talk is cheap, I show us first. I do the dirty, dirty, dirty work. Talk nice, but your feet don't match. You dance slow while I bring the scratch. Spin moves, but you miss the beat. I lay the heat under your seat. Never ask for spotlight shine, just respect that's real, not lines. Roll your dice, but I build the game.
Oh my Gucci-na. Oh my Gucci-na.
Dirty, dirty, dirty work. Hands on ya, make it work. Sweat drips, heels hit the earth. I do the
We are the future, Charles, not them.
move like that, yeah, feel that.
They no longer matter.
Tracks, now watch you surf. Talk is cheap, I show us first. I do the dirty, dirty, dirty.
We are the future, Charles, not them. They no longer matter.
Call when the lights are bright, but I was digging deep all night.
What it is what it is.
That's cute, but someone had to run the route. Wipe it down, then I level up. You post once I double up. You sip slow, I fill the cup. Came for the win, now giddy up. Fix your face, you missed your turn. I lit it up, now watch it burn. I make it real, you sell the word, but I'm the proof behind the work. I do the dirty, dirty, dirty work. Hands on ya, make it work.
shakalaka,
Sweat drips,
she's
heels
on
hit the
fire.
earth. I do the dirty, dirty, dirty. Move like that, yeah, feel that hurt. Lay the tracks, now watch you surf. Talk is cheap, I show what's first. I do the dirty, dirty,
Boom
dirty.
shakalaka, she's on fire.
Dirty, dirty, dirty work. Yeah, I do the dirty work. They only show up when it's done. I was there before it begun.
All right, thank
Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain, and an athlete,
And a basket case. A princess.
and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, Nyobi's in the zone. Teleport flash, I'm gone. World tour poppin' city lights, I'm the one. Korea to Manila, bar shake when I arrive. Ladies, raise your glasses, we own the night. Pink solo 있어간 나 make back 저 언덕까지 crop top boots 지금 펼쳐. 난 바스 디사스 K-pop 파자. crossing the trenches 었다. 문집 돌아 내 힐집 반짝 별처럼 내가 덜큰 에너지. 여자들 소리쳐 불꽃 태워 Nyobi 왔어. People only go. Teleport queen, 어둠 속 spark. 춤으로 pop work on top. 여시서 도시 vibe thrill. 여성들 밤지고 just to kill. Pop flash gone, boom boom 소리 막 떨리고 심장 뛰어. Teleport queen, 움직임 선전 anthem. 여성들 party on vacation. Blink Shibuya, Tokyo Chica Kagayaku. Akai kimono, crawfish, neshi senu bau. Ba edgy, sake nagare beat glitchy. Hologram, hikaru vibe, so trippy. Hitobonika kiwake step ga mayday. Pop lock, body rock, kura buta nire. Yuka jotachi, sin no queen. Nyobi spark, yume o ikiru machine. Teleport queen, nami no spark. Odori arashi, banachiru yo. Doshi kara doshi, vibe to thrill. Hosei tachi yoroshe, just to kill. Party on vacation.
We will stand and fight.
Blink at the tie up bar, rim high, ruwa drum, bikini tongue, sarong, satire to life, island, EDM, tam, not on silom, to my fire, night, hong, chan, ten, bar, clue, and conchi, with two crown, blind, five, pow, yam.
I am the best wrestler in the world. I've been the best ever since day one when I walked into this company, and I've been vilified and hated since that day because Paul Heyman saw something in me that nobody else wanted to admit. That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
Holy shit.
Boom shakalaka, she's on fire.
Teleport queen, sparks at the limb. Sayaw na bagyo na papakita ni Ning. Losas sa lungsod, vibe.
You're gonna take a baseball bat to a horseman, finish the job, because there's one rule of gang fighting. See, we are the original gang, and we're the most vicious in all of professional wrestling history. They send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue.
Seoul to Tokyo, Pattaya to Manila. Teleport queen, attain no vanilla. Every bar's a stage, every move's a spark. Ladies with a fire lighting up the dark. Power in our step, confidence in our glow. Nyobi's got the world still in the show. Raise your drinks high, let the whole world see. This is our night.
We will stand and fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
finally the Rock has come back.
All hail the Ayatollah of rock and roll!
When you see me pull up, I'm the one that make you wonder. That girl, baby,
When you look at me, I have the power!
Bring to the table. I know I'm the star that's stable, so you know the feeling is fatal. When you see me walking, girl, you gotta know I am that girl, the one you wanna be. I am that girl who you know better than me. I am that girl, can't you see?
Hey, Nyobi. Nyobi Comics is freaking awesome. Like, what?
Champagne on my lip, all I toast alone. Glamour follows me like a shadow fully grown. Late night shopping just to make it shine. They look
Nyobi's freaking awesome. Like what?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
Oh, she'll do it.
Rebel Comics is amazing. Like, what?
Like what? What's going on, everyone? It's LP, writer and creator of the comic books Nyobi and my fantasy series Savage Sin. I bid you greetings and welcome from beyond the walls of ice, from the Canadas of your soul. You have indeed reached the end of the internet. You are the first to arrive, last to survive. I hope you enjoyed the trip, because this is all that remains. There is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's just you and I screaming out into the void. Welcome to the Noid. Today. I can't even say tonight because, well, I guess the sun's starting to go down now. We have a special guest on here tonight. He's in the back. He's waiting for me. We have Mr. Tom Carter, and we're going to introduce you to Tom and who he is and what he's got going on, because he is a fellow Antarctic Press brother in arms. That's right. This man is now joining the legacy of Exciting Comics, legacy that I'm privileged to be a part of, with Exciting Comics number 17 being my debut issue into the black market, into the direct market. Well, it might be the black market. Welcome to the black market. Boom! Am I a boomer? Boom! Am I a boomer? Huh?
I'm a big boomer, you know what I'm saying? This is one-on-one, where you go one-on-one with the pigtail one. That's right. I go one-on-one with you, the comic book creator, and the way this works, it's going to be about an hour or so. Nothing too long. We're going to shoot the breeze. We're going to catch up on everything, and we're going to see what Mr. Carter's got going on. We're going to talk about, of course, Antarctic Press. We're going to talk, of course, about Exciting Comics. We're going to talk, of course, about Ben Dunn and anything else under the sun that he's got going on. But without further ado, I mean, who is your daddy and what does he do?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Well, he was Mr. Higgins and he worked at Midas Muffler for many, many moons. But let's bring this cat on. Let's ask him. If this will work. Who's your daddy and what does he do?
He's retired.
Right?
Yeah.
I completely have thrown Tom off on his game here with that first question already. You know what I mean? This is
tell
it.
Me about it.
What's that?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Tell me about it. Well, listen, my good friend across the pond, for you it is like 9:15. Getting there,
yes.
Right? That's why I'm on so early, because you're on so late. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Right? How's the weather in jolly old good England right now?
It's been snowing, oddly, which is not normal. We normally, our winters are very bristly cold and just dry.
Right. Yeah, it snowed here too. I was digging, my driveway out yesterday, and I thought I saw a tauntaun in my backyard.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't have to cut it open, but they do smell bad from the outside.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's horrible. Fucking horrible.
But we're here to
imagine.
talk with Tom here today. I haven't done one of these in a little bit where we just bring on creators and just give them a flat out interview. But we're going to start doing this again. The show is now called One on One, where you go one on one with the pigtail one. And right now we got Mr. Carter here. So Tom, please just give an introduction to yourself, who you are, what it is that you do, not your daddy, but you, and talk to me about how you entered into this crazy, wacky world of comics, and for God's sakes, why?
Well, my name's Tom, Tom Carter. I got into comic books because I was such a big fan of it growing up, and I always wanted, as a passion project of mine, to create my own comic book, like many others who get into this crazy industry / business we call comic book making. And over the years, I always wanted to write it, and I finally was like, you know what, I'm gonna write one. I was around the time when I was at university, I was thinking about it, and that's going back almost 10 years ago. And then basically when I finally had some free time, came up with an idea, wrote it down, then basically just worked on it, and then eventually got it made, got a team together, and boom, now we're here. It's going to get published. I am so over the moon by all this.
It's a wild ride, right? So let me take you back to an earlier day. You know what I mean? What were like some of the first comics you remember just sort of picking up and reading, as a kid, like your first few, you know what I mean?
Okay, some of the comics you may not know because they're UK.
Oh, I know what 2000 AD is, and I know what Judge Dredd is.
Judge Dredd, 2000 AD. Read like the Beano as well back in the day. I read Sonic the Comic, and the way how Marvel and DC did their comics here before it became more easy to access. Comic book shops started to pop up more around about, I want to say around about, they've always been around, but they become more mainstream here in the UK around about the mid-noughties, mid to late noughties. It became more mainstream, easier to get access to the direct market. But before that, you used to go to a supermarket, you used to pick up a omnibus version of the comic, which is a little bit more expensive than a $3 book. Normally here in the UK, it's around about £5 to £7, but you get the complete saga of that storyline in one complete collection.
I'll tell you, I need to lose about 5 to 7 pounds. If I could lose 7 pounds, Tom, that'd be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's British sterling for you. We call it a
This
pound.
is it. This is, and I still try to figure out what a pound is worth towards the American dollar. You know what I mean?
From what I've been told through history lessons, and my wife's a massive history buff. Apparently, the reason why we call it a pound because the original pound coin used to weigh an actual pound.
Right?
Yeah, that's literally very straightforward. Oh yeah, I want a pound. There you go. There's a pound.
There's a pound for you. Can I give away 7? All right, yeah, there we go. We all could use to lose some weight as we get older, of course. There is going to be lots of joking in this interview, but at the same time, we're gonna get down to the brass tacks. So,
oh yeah.
Were you like more of a Marvel guy or DC guy, or were you indifferent to the two?
I'm more recently indifferent, but when I was younger, around about my teenage years, I really got into Marvel stuff round about. Heavily into Marvel around the time where Ultimate Spider-Man original run by Bendis and Mark Bagley,
right,
back in the day, and I was hooked. I'm like, oh my god, because I remember I tried to pick, but just before that I tried picking up regular Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, why is there 3 versions of him, and why is there like tons of them fighting each other?
Back in the day when there were only 3.
Yeah, so there was only 3.
Now we got the multiverse, so there is unlimited amounts of Spider-Man out there. You know what I'm saying?
And some weird reason that's easier to follow than it was back in the 90s.
No kidding, right? But I mean, if you remember, and I'm sort of on a tangent here for a second, but if you remember the old 1960s Spider-Man cartoon, there were actually like a whole tribe of Spider-Men that were living underground and shit.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Remember all of them, right? He went there.
Yeah.
So it's not actually a new concept, but I want
Yeah,
to talk
it's
about Tom. Let's just get right into this here. Let's share the good news with everyone. I'll share the screen here, and I'll teach you how to do that later. But
yeah.
what we got here is Tom Carter's Guardian, now appearing as part of the long-running anthology series from Antarctic Press, landing February 26th. Pre-orders are now. And I got a link for that, and I'll put that, since the link is right here. Link, I got your link. We're giving out links like we're from Legend of Zelda. We're giving out links like the way Oprah gives out cars. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Go to Forbidden Planet, and I'm sure there are lots of other spots that you'll be able to order this from, but that's your start right there. Tom, tell me about The Guardian.
The Guardian is a Tokusatsu-inspired manga superhero comic set in the United Kingdom. Follows Zach West, does an everyday guy, just having a normal day, meets up with friends, meet up with a girlfriend, meet up with an old friend, and then suddenly, boom! Something comes crash from the sky. He gains the power of the Guardian, but with that power comes a great threat known as Mars the Destroyer.
Okay. Now, what was the inspiration behind this comic?
Okay, so the inspiration behind the comic, when I was a kid / teenager, I watched a lot of Tokusatsu stuff, like Power Rangers, VR Trooper for those, Mask Rider for those who wondering what I mean by Tokusatsu media. And the whole concept was I really like to write something along those lines and get into that sort of fandom, and that was sort of the linchpin into getting into this sort of story. I just wanted to write something. I wanted to do superhero, but I don't want to do one-to-one superhero. I want to do something slightly different. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Power Rangers thing, right? That's something I actually never got into growing up. I mean, by the time the Power Rangers came out, I was already in my late teens, and it looked kind of hokey, so I never watched it, right? But the fandom for it is truly amazing. You know what I mean?
I think for me, because I was at the right age at the right time for that sort of show, so that show blew my mind when I
Really?
saw it.
I was like, man, these are the worst effects I've ever seen. You know?
And also, it also gave me my first feeling of a television crush in the character of Kimberly as well. I was
Well,
like,
yeah.
oh, she's making me feel weird. I don't know what that is, but I don't mind it.
This is it, man. This is it. Puberty, Tom. It's an amazing thing. You know what I mean?
It was, again, I wanted to do something along those lines, and again, the design for Guardian himself is inspired by specifically the Tokusatsu show of Metal Hero. For those who are not wondering what I mean by that, essentially, if you ever watched VR Trooper, the VR Trooper show back in the day, that's essentially what Super Metal Hero is based on. The same with Big Bad Beetleborgs as well.
Who's the artist? You or someone else?
I did the design for the character, but I handed it off to a different person to do the artwork.
Let's give them some credit. Shout them out. What's their name?
Oh god, I'm
Tom.
I want to get their name right because it's. All
right, lesson 1, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna because Tom's kind of new here, right? We're gonna do lesson 1 for new creators out there. Have the list of all your team members ready to go when you're on an interview, because you're going to be asked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those things that I want to get his name right because I do not want to get it wrong. It's Dikabudi. Dikabudi.
Yeah, that's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a Vietnamese artist. I came across him through just surfing the web through Facebook groups and stuff like that. I just put feelers out saying I'm looking for artists, I'm looking for people, and he reached out to me, showed me his work, he showed me the studio he works with at the time. He's gone independent now with his own studio, which is pretty much his own name, Productions. Really talented guy. He practically does nearly all the artwork on this. I helped out with the colouring in places and the lettering in some places because English isn't his first language, and basically just in case when he did the lettering, I went in there just to tidy it up, just to make sure that it flow well. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
100%. How many pages is the story?
The story is roughly 30 pages long, a bit more on the longer side than the average story, average one. Yeah, it's about 30 pages long.
So now let's talk about your journey through this. How long like when you decided, okay, I'm going to do the Guardian, I'm going to write the Guardian's going to be a thing. What sort of ambitions did you have in mind? Like before the comic was even, complete, like, did you have ambitions of being published, or were you like, maybe I'll just take this to Kickstarter or Indiegogo, or maybe you're like, this will just be an online release? Like what did you have envisioned for this when you first, started working on it?
When I first started it, I wanted to just prove to myself that because I did quite a lot of freelance work in media before doing this comic book. I've worked on like music videos and short films and indie projects here and there over the years, and I've always wanted to write something. And comic books were something I really wanted to write for, and it was sort of a passion project of mine. I really wanted to get my foot in the water. I wanted to prove to myself I can get this done. I want to make this. And then as slowly started going on, more people got interested, more people started talking, and eventually I was like, no, I want to get this published. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to get this published. And then slowly, as the book became completed, I first tried it out at a comic convention which called London Film and Comic Con back many moons ago, back in 2019, and I did a
Okay, so can I pause you there then?
Yeah,
because
sure.
you're mentioning 2019, so you've had this in the can for a while.
Yes, it took a very long time to get published. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, let's not even talk about being published. Like how long ago was it that you started working on it, let alone 2019?
I think it was, thinking about it, it started in 2018.
Okay.
I got it finished in 2019.
Yep.
And then I tried to get it self-published by going to conventions and stuff like just to network, talk to people.
All right, let me
show them
back you up
something.
even before then. Let's talk about, because when you say publish, you're going to confuse a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because to me, publish means you're with a company and they're publishing you. Self-publishing is a different thing, okay?
Yeah.
So let's talk about self-publishing first. So you got the story made. You got the guy, the draw. You guys worked on it, colored it, lettered it. You have this like digital PDF, right? Ready to go. Who did you go to first, like for printing? Like, did you ever print physical copies of this before you approached AP? Tell me about like that journey.
We got it printed through a company called Maxi Print. We were a UK-based company. I think they just expanded out into America and other parts of the other parts around the world. But they originally started in England, and I got it printed through them. They did a fantastic job with the product.
Now, let me ask you this: when you went to print, because printing costs money, paying the team costs money. How did you fund the book? Did you do this on Kickstarter?
I didn't do it originally. I didn't do it on Kickstarter. I wanted to go to this convention, and basically I made a small print run.
So let's talk. How many copies do you consider to be small print run?
It literally was like 50 issues.
All right, so you printed 50 issues of this comic book. That was it at the time, and you bring it to this London Comic Con.
Yes.
How well did it do?
I actually made back the money I spent to actually get to be there. So basically, you have to pay a fee to actually be there. For those that don't know, you have to pay a fee to be there for most conventions, and the fee was, I can't remember what it was at the time, but basically
you don't have to tell anyone that anyway. You know what I mean?
No. But basically, I made back my money and profit on top of it.
Right.
And I was like, I still had some issues left over, and I'm like, holy shit, I think I might have something here.
Right. So
And
let me ask you this, because this is a question that sort of blows my mind, right? When I
Yeah.
talk to guys who've gone through your journey in particular, where they just sort of self-funded the book and printed it out. They didn't use crowdfunding at all, right? Especially in their initial sort of run here.
Yeah.
How come you didn't do that?
I did try to attempt to do it once as a Kickstarter, after that.
No, I mean
But
before that. Let's not talk
before that.
about let's talk about you
Yeah.
got the book done.
Yeah.
You got Comic-Con on the horizon. Kickstarter is a free option that will get books out to people not just around your area but internationally and put more money in your pocket. Why didn't you do it?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't know anything about Kickstarter. I didn't know
Perfect.
anyone at
And
the
that
time.
is the answer. And that's the most honest answer that I've ever heard anyone give. They didn't know it existed. And this is the thing, right? We got to get more everyday people knowing what Kickstarter is, because literally you probably did leave some money on the table. Now you mentioned that you did attempt this. When did you attempt it and what happened?
Okay, I attempted it back around about, I want to say it was before COVID.
Yeah.
So I want to say, again, I think it was around about 2019, and I attempted it. It started off well. I think the reason why it didn't meet its goal, one, I over expected how much I should be getting. I didn't budget it properly, and my life at the time, literally, as I started at Kipper, I clicked that button to say launch this Kickstarter. Three major things happened in my life that really set me down into a turmoil. I was fired from my job, for one thing. My granddad was diagnosed with dementia and was committed.
Right.
And my grandma had a stroke due to all the stress.
Fuck.
And I was like, and that was within like less than the first 2 weeks of the actual Kickstarter, and I'm basically, my mind and my heart wasn't into it.
No, I get that.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
So but you brought up a few other things outside of the family tragedies and stuff, and I am sorry to hear that. And especially like in these things, there's never a good timing for that stuff. You know what I mean?
No.
But let's talk about your pitfalls with the Kickstarter. So if you said that you asked for too much, what was the goal that you had on that initial Kickstarter?
Well, my original initial was the idea was, okay, here's the first issue, but then I got greedy on the fact that I went, oh, maybe I can actually.
I'm looking for a number, Tom.
Yeah, 9,000.
9,000 what? Dollars or pounds?
Pounds.
Okay, let's see what 9,000 pounds is. Oh, because this is a common story, Tom. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I know. I'm fully aware of it. I've realized my mistakes now, and I was like,
yeah, but we have to have other people now learn from it, right? Anyone that's listening needs to understand that if you're doing your first Kickstarter, just so that people understand what 9,000 pounds is, Tom was asking for 12,000 United States dollars.
Yeah, too much. And keep in mind, that was back in 2019. So if you work in inflation and what,
Well, I mean, going back to that, guys, I understand that everyone thinks that 10 grand is an easy reach on Kickstarter. It really isn't.
No.
It's not. Look, trying to get 5 grand on Kickstarter on your very first project where you don't have a track record and no one knows who you are is a hard get, right? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think I got just under 2,000. If I think.
Yeah, and that sounds about right. You know,
I got about 2,000, and I'm like, if now looking in hindsight, if I would just be saying, right, don't be greedy, just get the first issue printed and just get it out there.
Yep.
Then basically you can build up a fan base, you can build up a following, and you can go back and hopefully the idea is you build up the fan base, you announce the second one, and hopefully those people who bought the first one and liked it will come back and buy
We'll
the
come
second.
back. That is the exact path that people should be taking. Yes, you got it, brother. You also mentioned that it did well initially, like when you first ran the Kickstarter, and it probably dropped off. That's common. That is very common, and I'll explain to everyone listening why. Because when you launch a Kickstarter, people who are waiting for your book are going to jump in right away, right?
Yeah.
People who are perusing Kickstarter for the newest thing are going to jump in right away. And your first, say, 3 or 4 days are going to be pretty exciting. You know, you're going to see that number go up and you're going to be like, oh. But once you're past that first week, you're now into the Kickstarter dead zone. And I'm talking 30-day campaign here, okay? And in that dead zone, your middle 2 weeks, no one's coming by. You might even lose backers and a couple might trickle in. And it looks like you're gaining no traction. But that last week, as you enter it, is going to be just as important as your first week. Because here's why. Because the last week, much like the first week, you're going to have people that are jumping in. These people like to wait to see if a project's going to get funded until it backs. People want to jump in towards the end because they have a better idea when their credit card's going to get charged. And it's just like that fear of missing out, you know, so you'll always, yeah, that's right. You'll have that mad rush at the end, you know? So understand, guys, when you run a Kickstarter, it's going to look exciting at the first, it's going to die off in the middle, but it will have a small spike at the end. And with that in mind, that's how you should be gauging your Kickstarters.
Yeah, and in hindsight, I would have done. I think I will do a lot better now. But
so, what would you change?
Ask for less money. Be more honest and upfront, and saying, "Look, this is the finished product. This is what I want to get made."
Right, right. So let's talk about COVID.
Yeah.
Let's talk about COVID, right? So 2019, you went to the con, you did really well, you made your table, you made some extra money, you came home with a few copies left, and then all of a sudden, this thing called COVID happened, which shut down the world for almost 2 to 3 years. You know what I mean?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, when COVID happened, I released Nyobi Birthright #1, right?
Yeah.
And it did like 7,500 Canadian dollars. And then I released Birthright 2, maybe a few months, like 6 months after that. And it did $16,000. And then I did Nyobi Origins #1, and it did $24,000. And then right at the end of COVID, we did Outbreak 1, which did $31,000. Now I'm saying Canadian dollars here, right? So take away, you know, maybe 25%, and that's what you get in US dollars. The reason why it did so well was because it was COVID, right? Everyone was home. Yeah. Everyone had extra money, like especially in the States, they were all getting stimulus checks and this and that. You know, people were bored. They were online. They were watching a lot more YouTube. Comic book fans were watching more YouTube. They were watching comic book related content. Then you had people making big splashes in the indie market with, you know, whether you like him or not, Ethan Van Sciver with Cyberfrog, Eric July. You had, well, he wasn't really involved then, but Brian Polito certainly was. And Lady Death was the inspiration, I would say, for many, many people to go to Kickstarter and start running their own campaigns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember seeing Lady Death all over the place.
Right.
It was I was like, damn.
This is it. You know, he was the reason why I ran a Nyobi Kickstarter. I'm like, well, shit, if we can just get people to, you know, fund the project, then we can make it, you know, because money's always been the hurdle, right? If money wasn't an option, I would have so much shit out. You know what I mean?
Money make the world go round.
Money makes the world go round. So what did you do during COVID? You know, I mean, I'm sure rules were strict in London, just as they were here in Canada. How did you promote the book? How did you circulate this book during those COVID years?
I basically started networking. I started doing networking online, specifically through Facebook, through Twitter and stuff like that. And around that time, I believe I bumped into you.
Oh, God.
During that period. As well.
I feel bad for you, brother.
So, yeah, I think we started talking. You started giving me advice on what I should be doing and how I should be doing it. And I just spoke to like-minded people as well. And basically, people gave me opinions. It's like saying, do this, do that. And also, I also reached out to people in the industry who done it like more mainstream as well, and they got back to me on how I should be doing stuff and gave me a general advice, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna dig in, I'm gonna get more of this made, I'm gonna get promoted, I'm gonna get a Facebook page going, I'm gonna get a network going, I'm gonna build up a fan base, and that's what I did for a while, and I did that for quite a while.
Yeah, you did. And now look
Yeah.
at this, right?
Yeah.
We come full circle. We get past COVID, 2023, 2024. When did you approach Antarctic Press, or did they come to you? Like, how did this come about?
I remember I was speaking to you. You told me some advice on how to approach people, and you advised me go and talk down to Target Press. Ben, go and ask for Ben, and say Larry has sent you.
Oh man, I'm surprised they didn't just kick you right out. All right.
And I was like, okay. So I emailed them. This was back around, I want to say back in 2020. It's either late 2022 or early 2023, give or
Damn,
take.
it's been a while.
Yeah, been a while. And basically, I messaged him, and basically Ben was like, "Oh, I really like this." And then basically it went back and forth on when it was going to get published, how it was going to get published, and then
So there was no doubt he was going to
be out
publish it.
earlier.
Like, let me roll back, because people want to know the nitty gritty, long details, right?
Yeah.
How did the first initial contact go? Did you contact Ben, or did you email the company? Who was the first person to reach out back to you, and what did they say?
I emailed the company.
Right.
I emailed the company, and then I got an email response from Ben
Okay.
directly.
Perfect.
And he asked me, what would I like to do with the comic, and do you have a complete issue? I basically sent him a sales pitch with some examples and who I am, blah blah. I said, yeah, I've got a complete issue. This is this, and this. And as we were starting getting the ball rolling, and we were talking about where it's going to be published, he suggested this would be perfect to go in Exciting Comics.
Right. Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, the crash of Diamond Publishers happened.
All right. Well, let's pause right there. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Well, let's roll it back a bit.
Yeah.
How excited were you just to even hear back from them?
I was really excited because during that period, I wasn't getting that much work, but as I had some fellow experience already working in the media, and what I learned from my media experience is basically, because I do speak to people who do want to get their own comics made, and the one thing I've noticed that people don't do is talk.
Right.
You need, if you want to be known by these people, you have to reach out. You have to take that risk.
100%. Yeah, you gotta be a little bit outgoing, right? Introverts tend not to get noticed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like, unless you're like the next Jack Kirby or the next Mark Bagley or the next Todd McFarlane artwork style wise, they won't come to you. You need to build it. Yeah, it's like in Wayne's World, build it and they shall come.
Right? Well, that's actually Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Wayne's World. We're in on Girth. But let's go back to, like, you're starting to talk with Ben. Ben emails you back. He likes what he sees. They talk about Exciting Comics. Now, were you? Because I remember when I first talked to Ben about going to Antarctic, and the same pitch was essentially made to me, was this would be perfect for Exciting Comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have to be truthful with you. And I even told this to Ben. I said that was not the vision I had, right? The vision I had was solo series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with that being said, he sold me. He said, well, here's the deal. He said, Exciting Comics is an anthology series. It's been around for a while. But the best thing about this gives us a chance to see what Nyobi's all about. It allows us to put the foot in the water and your foot in the water, and it gives a chance for the reader to see if they even like it. Basically, the pitch was made, if your issue of Exciting Comics does well, then that could open doors for future things, right?
Yes.
And so I took that at face value. I could either go like, well, you know what? No, I don't want to be part of that, and then not get published at all, right? Or
Yes.
I could go, yeah, let's jump in that, and then let's see what doors it does open.
Yeah.
You feel the same way?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've remember saying this to you not too long ago because Exciting Comics is a legacy comic. It is a known name in the industry. Basically, you put something in there, and people are going to look up that legacy. Your name's going to pop up because you've published something in there.
Well, yeah, Exciting. For those that don't know, Ben brought back Exciting Comics. It was essentially a defunct label for a long time, but it used to exist in the golden age. And like when my buddy here in Canada, he lives in a different province, but when he saw that Nyobi was on Exciting Comics, he got really excited and he messaged me because I didn't even know this, right? He's like, did you know that, Exciting Comics is like a golden age stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I had to go look it up. It's like, holy fuck, he's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I asked Ben about it. I'm like, how did you get the rights to Exciting Comics? He said it just was dead for so long. And they just swooped it up.
Makes sense. It's a known property. Oh, look, there's the IP rights for it. No one's interested. Oh, you know what? I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, that's ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, here's the best thing about Exciting Comics, and not just that. They have a couple of different anthology series. There's Planet Comics, Jungle Comics. I'm not sure how many of them are going to survive after the Diamond Purge, which we'll get into. But let's just talk about Exciting Comics. Exciting Comics, to me, is that gateway drug. Like if you're coming to Antarctic Press with an idea, chances are 9 times out of 10, unless if you have something, really, really cool or, that really stands out, they're going to try and test the waters in the anthology series first. And that is absolutely good for you as a creator. It gives you a couple of things. One, it gives you that foot in the door. 2, it gives you that credibility that's saying, yeah, we're published. You know what I mean? With that AP symbol, you can get this in the stores. And then 3, again, the horizon is limitless, if it does well, right? For Nyobi appeared in Exciting Comics 17, and I can't believe we're on 56 already. You know what I mean? But in 17, and at that time, Nyobi's issue was the 3rd highest selling for Exciting Comics at that time. The only ones beaten in that was like issue 1 and 2. Right?
Makes sense.
And so that's what led us to her coming out of the anthologies and into her own sort of solo stuff. Now, at that time too, Exciting Comics was formatted a little differently because you would get 3 or 4 stories broken up into parts in each one, right? And that kind of led readers confused because if they bought something with Nyobi on the cover, but it was part 2 or part 5, you know what I mean? That kind of messed things up. So one of the suggestions I had made to Ben Dunn is have Exciting Comics tell a full and complete comic. Have it be a full comic book, right? Instead of having 5 parts of several comics in it, just make it one comic, and each time you put one out, it's a different thing,
Yeah,
and,
when I was speaking to Ben did give me that offer. He said, right, do you want it, would you rather prefer to share the issue or would you prefer to have the standalone issue?
And which one did you pick?
I chose the standalone one.
Fucking A.
This when it was originally because I remember I spoke to you first about it and I went, this is the first time I spoke to you about it, and you went, take the standalone.
If it was offered, I absolutely would have told you that.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, and I went back to Ben about that, and that was when it was originally was going to get published earlier, but then, like I said, Diamond happened.
Right. Now, here's the only thing I would suggest, because I'm looking at this image, right?
Yep.
And if I show you the cover to Exciting Comics 17, there's going to be one big difference between this one and that one. And the difference is that Nyobi's logo is on it down at the bottom, right? So when someone sees this, right, they're not going to know the Guardian unless if they buy it, open up and read it. You need to have this Guardian down here in the bottom corner somewhere.
That's the interesting thing. Ben asked me to send a cover, but with no logos on it.
Yeah, because he wants to put the Exciting Comics logo on it, right? But what I would do is I would message back after, maybe tomorrow, and say, hey, Ben, I was talking with LP, Larry, And he did make a good point. Like, is there any way that we can get the Guardian logo, shoved in there on the bottom corner somewhere so people know like who or what this hero is, right? I'll give you an example. Here, let me show you. Guys, we're going to just give me 1 sec. I have to dive into the Nyobi master file and find the AP file. And there it is. And find the cover for Exciting Comics number 17. Sure, I got it here somewhere. Here it is. This is the exact one that released. Because I went through a couple of different variations before we settled on this. But for the class, initially, and now Nyobi, right? Where you see where it's down there? Initially, that wasn't there. I pushed for that.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason why I pushed for it was because I want people who have seen the Kickstarter to see this out and go, oh shit, that's Larry's Nyobi. I've seen that somewhere. Or if they buy this, right, and they have Nyobi on the cover, like that logo, that name is going to stick in their head. And if they ever see it come out and again in the future, they go, oh, I remember that. That was something I read in Exciting Comics. Oh, that's cool. She's got her own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would push for this. Now, if they say no, don't throw a fuss, right? But if they say yes, that's a bonus. You know what I mean?
I might reach out for. I'm currently in the talks with Ben. I need to send him back an email. I might add that into the email.
So, like, if it hasn't gone to the printer yet, it's not too late, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't think it has.
Then I would get on that and see if you can make that happen. And Ben, if you're watching, because I did send Ben the link. Maybe make that happen. Like, I asked Ben to join us, but I don't know if he was able to. Right? He didn't get back to me.
That's fair enough.
But Ben Dunn obviously is a good friend of the show. He's been on with me several times. I consider him a friend. So yeah, I mean, this isn't a hard thing to probably get done, Yeah.
And I mean, there's enough space on the cover to get it on there. So
I mean, where I would put it exactly would be let me get this out of the way. Yeah, probably in the bottom right. Or
that's what I'm thinking.
Or bottom, either or, right? But probably like in the bottom left, actually, where there's a little bit more space,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. I would, literally copy paste, drag that down, drop it right there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Shrink it up a bit. I mean, you don't want it to be huge. You don't want your logo to overpower the Exciting Comics logo, right?
No, nice.
So, but get it in there if you can. So this entire issue then is all you.
Yes.
Beautiful, right? So all 30 pages in here.
Because the thing was, when it came to it finally get printed, was basically Ben actually came back to me out of the blue, which I wasn't expecting.
Right.
And he just came back to me in the blue, went, oh, I want to publish your comic now. Does this issue sound fine? I was like, wait, what?
So let's go back a bit though, because we did talk about the fall of Diamond. We never really touched on it. When that happened and Antarctic Press made their announcement that they were no longer doing the anthologies and create their own stories and stuff, were you contacted in any way? Were you informed in any way? What was sort of the status of your issue of Exciting Comics when the fall of Diamond happened?
When that happened, Ben did reach out to me, and basically he said to me, along the lines of, we're not sure what's happening at the moment. We're currently looking at the numbers and looking at how we can actually do this, but don't feel that we're not going to do this. Just be patient and trust us. Essentially.
Yeah.
And it was a wait.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was probably how long did you wait before you got any sort of notification?
I didn't get a notification until this was going to get printed until August of last year.
Okay. And what did they say at that point?
They just reached out and said, we've gone over your work again. We really like it. We want to give you the standalone issue number, issue 56. Do you want to go through in this and sign
Okay, let's
contracts?
back it up even before then though, because what I'm asking is when they canceled all the series, right? They weren't going to bring anything back until they got back with in the shops, which is Lunar and Massive Publishing, right? So and that happened a while back. So did they contact you and go, you know what, we are bringing back Exciting Comics, this and that, or what?
Yeah, there was a message, there was a line of communication basically saying that your comic is going to be published, but we want to honor all the other creators that were in front of you before.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, they had to go down the line of basically honoring all the other creators that were going to be published before me. And I was like, you know what? Fair enough. So I waited.
So 56. What do you know what number they're currently on now?
There, if I'm not mistaken, I think issue this month, issue 50 is either 54 or 55 is coming out this month, and my issue is next after that.
Yeah, yeah. Now, do you have like the way it used to work, and I don't know how it works with Massive and Lunar, but Diamond would have the previews catalog, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in that previews catalog, there'd be an order code that you would give to comic book shops to order the book. Do you know what the order code is for this?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. So on top of asking Ben for your logo on the cover, the second thing you're going to ask him for is the Lunar order code.
The Lunar. He did tell me about the Lunar thing. Now you mention that name. He did mention to me it will be in the Lunar preview catalog.
Right. So in all those catalogs, there's an order code, right?
Okay.
And we want the order code because you want to spread that around as many places as possible, because a lot of places don't carry Exciting Comics or Antarctic because it's a smaller company, right? But they do have Lunar. So if I go to my comic book shop and say, because they don't carry Exciting Comics, right? But they'll pull in a copy if I give them the code, right? I'll go like, here's the order code, put it in your system and get me a copy. They'll do it, you know? That's the importance of the order code. Is like, hey, go to your shop, give them this code, get this exact issue.
Okay.
You want to do that.
I need to speak to.
I'll give you an example. Here we go. More learning time with LP. And back into the master file. I'm going to show you what this would potentially look like. Now, this is through Diamond. Lunars might look like a little differently, right? But I'll show you what I mean by this. So we'll bring up the Nyobi Exciting Comics preview. So back in the day, this is what you would have seen on the preview website or within the pages of the book, okay? And right here in this orange or brown right here, I'll blow it up, where it says August 211490, that's the order code. And comic book shops order their shit 3 months in advance.
Right.
So you want that order code as soon as you can get it. So like back in this time, Nyobi was, in shops October 27th, 2021. I would have been handing out that code to people 2 or 3 months before that.
This is what I mean. Because originally, my issue wasn't meant to come out in February. It was meant to come out in April, but it got bumped up.
Yep. Things change all the time. But get that order code in people's hands.
Yeah. I was like, I did ask Ben about it, and I said, wait, I thought it was meant to be April. And he went, well, good news. You're getting the February one.
Good news, everybody.
I'm like, that's perfect.
I mean, here was like
promote it, but that's perfect.
Here was like a little promotion I was doing on my YouTube for this, right? This was just like a little slide I had made, but I made sure that order code was big and visible.
That's awesome.
Right? So this is what I'm saying, guys. You want to make sure that especially when you're being published, you want to make sure, because just because you're published doesn't mean people are going to magically find you. You still have to treat it like you're self-published. You still have to go on the grind. You still have to go on every show. You still have to spam social media with all the links and places,
Well, I mean, you're the first stop on my media trail, actually. I've actually got a few more podcasts lined up at the moment.
Well, give them a shout out. Where are you going to be? Who's going to bring you on?
I'm going to be on the Comic Book Cast, and that's going to be on their YouTube. I'm still working out a date for that with Armin. So, Armin, if you see this, hope you're doing well.
Aru, you mean, or Armin?
Armin, Armin.
Okay, I don't know him. Okay.
Yeah.
And anywhere else? Like, where else are you booked?
Comic Book Cast, and also hopefully I'll be over at Cape Joel as well.
See, this is great. I'm hearing about YouTubers I don't know who existed. You know what I mean?
Kate Joel was a part, and they've recently brought it back. He was part of a group called the Weekly Pool.
Okay.
And basically, it was like an alumni of like big YouTube comic book people who review stuff. So you had like people like Comic Explain, Comic Pop, and Comicology, for instance. And basically, they did like a weekly podcast show sort of thing when they talk about comic books, what comics came out that week, and regular news stuff. And basically, they recently brought it back, and I'm trying to basically get on that in some form of capacity to basically either them to give me a shout out to explain about it or let me come on it to talk about it.
Yeah. After we're done here, I'm going to send you a couple of names of other shows you might want to try and get on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
More the merrier.
More the merrier. And I'm talking, and I don't know, like I can't speak for them. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll bring you on, but I can't promise that, right? So, but I'm talking guys like JD Colleron. I mean, I would, he's a guy I would point you to. Swaggle when he has his open mic night, that would be a place I would point you to. Comic Tropes would be a place I would point you to. Beyond Wednesdays would be a place I would point you to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, funny enough, you mentioned Comic Trope. I think Comic Trope was a part of the Weekly Pool for a little while. So
yeah, because some nights he'll just like have an open night, you know what I mean? And you just click the link and you go on and you shoot the shit and promote your stuff, you know what I mean? No, and he has a fairly large audience. Same with Swaggle, you know. Yeah. Those are the guys that when they have those open nights, take advantage of it. It's not all the time, but if you follow their channels and you just watch and wait for it to happen, it's a good opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Razor Comics will be another place I'm going to point you to. There'll be a few, 5 or 6 names that I might be able to give to you to help you get a leg up on that sort of YouTube tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's perfect.
One of the other things I want to do is I want to follow up with you when this issue comes out. I will be buying this issue. I will when we get the order code. I'm going to give it to my shop, and they're going to order. Well, I'll just tell them get me Exciting Comics 56. I don't necessarily need the order code. It just helps for people who don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll get this issue, and what we can do is after I get the issue and read it, you and I can do a sit down talk about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be fun because here's the thing. I'm back with the Antarctic Press. I was out, right? So when we talked about the fall of Diamond, I was one of the casualties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was one of the ones that was halfway through their series. Nyobi Outbreak 1, 2, and 3 had already been published at that point. And then we still needed to do 4 and 5. When the fall of Diamond happened and they announced they weren't going to publish any creator-owned material anymore, I asked for my release and it was granted because I wanted to shop this around to other publishers. I wasn't done. You know what I mean? I thought they were done. And they thought at the point that they might be done. There was worry that without Diamond they were going to go out of business. Thank God things have turned around and things have switched, and we knew eventually that it would. We just didn't know how it was going to shape out. Now we know. So I get the call from Ben Dunn just last week saying, we want to bring Nyobi back. We want to finish the story. We're also interested in anything else you got, Savage Sin, whatever, right? And I said, great. If you want me back, Sensei, I'm back. And that comes with benefits. And the benefit is I am going to, just like we're doing right now, promote the company. And not just promote the company and promote myself, but promote people who are going to be a part of this label, such as Tom right here. If you are submitting to Antarctic Press, part of Antarctic Press, past, present, or future, you have a spot on this show. If you want to come on this show for whatever it's worth to you, like I was telling Tom, we're not a big show. We don't have the viewership as other people do, but what we do have is a lot of ambition and a lot of passion, right? And there are people that do watch. A lot of times they'll watch on the rewind, or right now we're also live on Twitch. Okay, sometimes I go live on TikTok. There are advantages to being with me because not just being on the show, but I'm going to share your shit out on social media. I'm going to, if you're Antarctic, and you got something happening, they're releasing a new issue, just like this image right here that Tom had shared with me, right? I have no problems posting this up on my Facebook. I have no problems putting this up on an Instagram. I have no problems talking about this on any broadcast that I'm on, because I feel that I'm a rep. When you're, to me, and this has never been sort of like doctrine or anything, right? But to me, when you're with a company, you represent that company.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you're just in it for a one shot and that's it. But for me, it's a little bit longer haul. You know, like I'm going to be with them for the considerable future. You know, now that I'm back, I don't plan on ever leaving again. Even if something fucks up, I'll be patient this time and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like Nyobi is a good example of what can happen. You know, I was talking to a guy on Facebook earlier today, and I said, look, Superman's S stands for a symbol of hope, right? To Superman. To me, Nyobi stands as a symbol to any creator who thinks they can't do it, that you can, right? If I can do it, this fucking, you know, this guy sitting in his room in Canada, all by his lonesomes, can get Nyobi out and done what I've done, from exciting comics to her own solo series to being out of the company to being back in the company. It just proves that, you know, anything can be done. And I hope that Nyobi serves as an example to every other small creator out there that if I can do it, you can do it. That's it, man.
Absolutely.
And so I want to give that spotlight to anyone that I can. You know, I want to share. Do you watch professional wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So in comic books and wrestling, there's a lot of correlation, right? I want to share the ring with as many people as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you being one of them. Right now, we're having a tag match. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
And that AP symbol means a lot to me. And the fact that you're with the company, and the fact that, hell, it seems like I'm responsible for parts of this. So, because you said, like, yeah, I talked to you, then you gave me this advice, and I followed up. And look what happened. Look what happened.
Yeah.
You followed up on the advice. It may have taken some time, but, you know, here's the other thing that you had asked me, and I'm going to make public. You asked me, you said that you were given a choice. You said that, you know, the Guardian can either be part of Tomorrow Girl's, you know, backup story stuff, or you could have exciting comics. And I said, fuck, no shame on Tomorrow Girl. It's one of Antarctic Press's better selling books. But I said, if you can get exciting comics and be on the cover, then that's what you want to do. And look at this. We got the Guardian on the cover, full issue, 56. Not only that, it's just about a month or so away, you know?
I know. That's why it was such a shock to me, because it was originally was meant to be the April issue, and then basically Ben said, "Oh yeah, by the way, we bumped it up to February." Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, my friend. First of all, let me say that.
Because I signed the contract for this to get published back in, I want to say, the end of November, probably the start of December.
Right.
And it said, I remember it specifically said, he said to me in the email, "We're going to get this in the April issue." And I thought, okay, good, it's going to give me time to promote it and everything like that. And then just out of the blue, yeah, it's going to be the February issue. What?
Well, that could be something someone might have dropped out, or a problem somewhere else, right? But the fact is, great. Now, let me ask you this, right? Is you have a local comic book shop near you?
Yes, I do.
Do they know about this?
Yes, they do. I got a little story about that. Which
you tell us, brother. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So, after I went to the convention, and this was literally just before COVID, I want to keep in mind, I went to the comic book store. It was in my local area, and basically I told them about what it was. I showed it what it was, and I said, "Look, there you go. Look, there's some landmarks literally in the town centre, right there. You recognise that place?" I said, "You will be selling a comic book that represents your local area."
Yeah, very important.
And I basically, he really liked it. I spoke to the owner, nice guy. Shout out to Piranha Comics, by the way. And there you go. There's the issue. And they sold it. I think they kept it on the front counter on their little. They had
no, Tom. I'm talking about your Antarctic Press release.
Oh, right. I'm in talks with them again.
Let's talk about that. Like, so are they aware you're being published and that they can order your book?
Yes, they basically, I messaged them. They messaged me back. They said, "Get back in contact with us next week. We will talk then." And I'm like, okay, that's good. They acknowledged my Then they know who I am. They acknowledge my message and they want to talk.
Perfect. So what I would do then is I would wander in there next week.
Yeah.
Now, don't do this by email. Wander in there next week, right?
Yeah.
And introduce yourself again if they don't remember you, and just say, hey, my issue's coming out on February 26th, and I'm wondering, if we can set something up, maybe store signing or something.
Yeah. That's what I want to get done, because there's a few comic book shops that I've gone to in my areas, and one of them
hit them all up. If you got multiple, hit them all up.
Yeah, I've got multiple in the area. So basically, I'm just going to pop into every single one near me and be like, hey, I've got an issue. I'm the writer. I've worked on this.
Yeah, and published. And I mean, because what you want is that sort of local vibe, like here locally, right?
Yeah.
I did 7 conventions last year. You know what I mean? Just in the local zone, anything within a 2-hour fucking driving distance, I was pretty much there. And you kind of want the same thing, because if you can get into the scene in London or surrounding area and just being invited as a guest, you know what I mean? A,
Yes.
You're not going to be paying table costs, but B, you got published work now, right? And
Yeah.
that's nothing to scoff at. You know what I mean? Some
No,
people will downplay, oh, you're just with the Antarctic, or you're just an anthology series. Yeah, well, I am, and you're not. You know what I mean?
But this is the thing with Antarctic, and I've spoken to people who are fans of Antarctic or are fans of comics. When I mention Antarctic Press, they know what that is. They know the publisher.
Yeah.
It's a name that is recognized in the industry.
And if they don't, all you have to say is Gold Digger or Ninja High School.
Yes, exactly. And I've mentioned Ninja High School to a few people. They went, "Oh, that's who published it." I'm like, "Yeah." I know, like, oh, that's awesome. And then I get people who making their own comic books know that I'm published with Antarctic and saying, "How do I get my book published?" And I'm like, "Okay, have you got an issue?" No, right, get an issue.
Get an issue. Well, that's it. I mean, a lot of people have ideas and they want to be paid for a script or something. That's not how it works, right?
No.
And let me break this down for people who actually want to know how this works. Antarctic Press is basically like Image 2.0. It's Image's little kid, okay? But who's been around longer. The way it works is you come to Antarctic with a full story, whether it's a 1-issue, 3-part miniseries, or something that you've got ongoing. But what they want is to make sure that you can provide what you say you can provide. Like, they don't want to be stuck publishing something and then be what happened in my case halfway through and something goes wrong and you don't have the other 2 issues ready. You know what I mean? Then they're sort of left holding the ball and looking like fools, and you're left holding the ball and looking like a fool. So they want completed work. So you have to put in the work first. You have to pay for it yourself, make the book yourself. But once that's done and you're able to hand them a finished product, they may strongly look at that and consider publishing it if you have anything that's half decent,
They will take you more seriously if you go to them with an actual finished product.
Yeah.
Essentially. And I've learned that because, like, every website I went to, every publisher I went to, basically I looked at about, submissions. And you've got to read through it. And every single one has said the same thing over and over again. You have to have a completed issue or story to even getting us to consider looking at it.
Yeah, Image Comics won't even look at anyone unless they have 6 comics already in the can. So that way that they can put those out 6 months ahead of time while you're working on other issues. That's the reason why. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what's the future plans then, Tom? Like, now that this is coming out, is there going to be a Guardian 2? Is there going to be a follow-up?
Yes, there's already a second completed issue.
Whoa! That's big news, man.
Yeah, I got. I think I'm allowed to mention this.
You got permission. I got some sway around here. You know what I mean?
Okay. I spoke to Ben. He's seen it. He wants to publish it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
he basically.
Well, yeah. No, you finish your thought first, then I'll follow up with some questions.
We're literally emailing back and forth between each other, and basically I just slipped in. Oh yeah, by the way, I've got a second finished issue here. You want to have a look at it? Yeah. And he did. He went, "Oh, that's really good. I really like it. When do you want it to be published?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Well, I mean, is that much of a shock? You mean you had your first one published?
That when the choice came in, he basically said, "Look, I can get out sooner if you want it tomorrow, girl, or we can wait. You can wait a bit longer, have it in Exciting Comics again."
Okay, so that's what it was about. Your issue 2, not your
Yes.
issue 1. All right.
Yes.
Definitely do Exciting Comics again, and I'll tell you why. I didn't know that. I thought, like your question was like for issue 1, do it again because that's where people are used to seeing it now. You understand,
Yes.
right? There's no sense of having your first issue in Exciting Comics and then your second issue is a backup story in Tomorrow Girl, because that backup story is going to be divided into parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I remember the advice you gave me on that was go in Excited Comics because you be in the main spotlight.
Yeah, but you're already there with issue 1. I didn't know we were talking about issue 2 when I gave you that advice.
Yeah,
Not
but
that it
you
changes much, but
Yeah.
the fact that you've already got 56, say like 62, you know what I mean? The Guardian's back, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And after you do 2 or 3 of those, then like as long then I would suggest, hey, maybe we can put out a Guardian one shot where it's not called Exciting Comics, just Guardian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a Guardian miniseries, like after you've proven yourself to them,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I really want to get
because eventually you
on-
do want to get out of the anthologies and into your own, label, right?
Yeah.
Instead of it being Exciting Comics, it's the Guardian from Antarctic Press. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you got to pay your
long-term goal.
dues first. You know what I mean? It's like wrestling. You got to pay your dues. You got to do the the lower end stuff before you get to the higher end stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, if you look at history, again, Superman, where did he started? Action comic. Where did Batman started? Detective comics.
Action comics still a thing.
Yeah, I know, but everyone has that sort of start in
Yeah.
that sort of way. You start off small.
Well, Spider-Man,
and
right? Amazing Fantasy 15. That
Yeah.
was a character that was a throwaway character. Publish it here in this throwaway book.
Yeah.
Just so we can say we done it. And then next thing you know, like Spider-Man is one of the most iconic superheroes on the earth.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about.
Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Antarctic, I shout out to the Sensei for, and I was saying the Sensei, is the best thing for indie comics because he's the guy that's giving everyone a chance. A lot of people, especially your first time out, it's like, applying for a job is like, you need to have experience. Well, how in the fuck can I get experience if no one will give me a job, right? Well, to get published, Antarctic Press is sort of like the very good first step into that world. They're willing to give people who've never been published before a chance to be published, and that's big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, because when I was speaking, as I was trying to get this made, I was trying to speak to people who already were in the industry that basically worked for like Archie Comics, DC, and all this sort of stuff. Because I'm friends with some of them, because I network with them.
Right.
And one of the people who I'm friends with on Facebook is a guy called Steve Buckler.
Yep.
And basically, I said to him, "Look, I'm getting published in this. Would you help out promoting it?" Saying, "Oh, look, so and so I know published." And basically, the first thing he came back to me was, "Oh, I know Ben and a lot. Really good people. I'm so glad for you. Well done."
Yeah, well done. Well done to Ben, by the way. I got this in the mail the other day. Beautiful book. This is the hardcover edition for Ninja High School 200. We're talking a legacy of 40 years here. 200th issue, man. Congratulations to the Sensei on a job well done. Beautiful book. And at the back of the book, there's like this 5-6 page just history lesson of Antarctic Press and Ninja High School. Anyone who has this, I suggest reading that. And of course, my story, Ichiku, the 10-pager backup story, appears in this book. So, it's awesome. Like, look, I've been reading Sensei's work when I was 14 years old, trying to draw Ichiku so I can submit her to the Antarctic Press yearbook just so I can have my fan picture published. And that would have put me over the moon. So 14-year-old Larry right now is screaming his head off that his story is not only in a Ninja High School book, but it's in the Milestone Ninja High School book.
That's amazing.
Right? So shout out to the Sensei for doing that, you know what I mean? And for those that haven't seen there's my name in lights right there. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that's amazing.
Shout out to Fred Keel, Nicholas Webb, and SK for all their hard work on this. And just to give you a sample what it looks like on the inside, there's the first 2 pages of my Ninja High School story. So there you go.
That's amazing.
So, here's the thing, right? And this all started because I said yes to Exciting Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you guys get that offer, don't, because I've seen people not want to be part of it because it's an anthology series. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's not really what I had in mind. You know what? If you get hired by the WWE to mop floors and wrestle, go to the WWE and mop floors and not wrestle, because eventually you'll get in the ring.
Yeah. You basically will get noticed.
At some point, right? You know, it may not be exactly what you pictured to some people, but do it anyway, because it will lead to bigger things.
Yeah. Everyone starts somewhere, and
that's it.
Yeah, everyone starts somewhere.
I mean, like CM Punk started off by wrestling in his backyard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
This is it, you know? Man, I'm so glad you came on and talked. You know, we're not going to keep you too much longer, but let me ask you this. You know, how do you feel about the journey? You know, because sometimes it's not about the destination, brother. It's about the journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel somewhat, again, I'm over the moon about it, just full stop, but I feel very much relief in a sense that I set myself out to do something, and I got to that point. Yes, there was a lot of uncertainty, turmoil, issue, problems, took a lot longer than expected, but I am so glad I went on that journey, because I learnt so much about myself and so much about this crazy, wonderful industry that is known as comic books.
Yeah, it's wild, eh?
Oh, God, yeah.
So I got one favor to ask of you.
Yes.
And it's a simple favor. It's nothing that's going to, you know, be crazy or daunting or anything like that. All I ask is that you lend that hand to the next person that needs it, kind of like the way, you know, I did for you.
Yeah. No,
you give them some advice, you know, you give them a hand. If you have a platform, help them out, like whatever it is, right? Help, you know, pay it forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Help me to help you.
Help me, help you to help me to help you. It's just like an episode of Jerry Maguire.
It's always one of those things that basically you pay back your dues, and you basically pass on that knowledge and that thing to the next person. It's essentially you're passing on the torch. You just want to keep the thing going, because if you don't pass it along, you just keep hold of it, there's always a risk it will go out and no one's there to pick it up.
That's it, man. What's the future now? So you got number 2 out. Is the Guardian sort of the only sort of thing that you got brewing, or is there anything else that we should be aware of?
Yes, I got a lot of things brewing, a lot of plates spinning, a lot of eggs in different baskets all over the place.
Good, yeah. Anything you can talk about?
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I've got plenty to talk about. So at the moment, I'm literally waiting on the last 3 pages of my new original story, Bion Black, which I did show you some pages of back a while ago, which is going to be my manga story, which is going to be a detective noir set in a fantasy world.
Sounds epic already. I mean, you can't go wrong when you start throwing out the word manga, because that's the hip thing right now, you know?
Yeah, because I was sitting there, because I was like, because I hear all these stories about comic books, the sales are going down, comic books this, and then basically everyone kept talking manga, and I watch a lot of manga. I read a lot of manga. I watch a lot of anime. I like the art style. I love it to bits, and I'm just like, can I do a manga? And I
You
was
can do
like,
anything you want, man.
Exactly. And I was like, let's give it a go. And basically, I was like, you know what? I wanted to go outside my wheelhouse a little bit, because I'd done like thriller stuff. Like I wrote a short film on a thriller before, and psychological stuff and mystery sort of things. And I was like, okay, let's go in that. But let's put in something I haven't done before. Okay, fantasy. I'm not a big fan of fantasy, but I was like, let's take that element, merge that together. Boom. Got the idea, got it made. Less than 3 pages away to being complete.
Oh, shit.
Now, yeah. So I've got that in the works.
Let me ask you this. Let's just pause on the manga for a second. When it's complete, do you plan to submit to Antarctic with it?
They will be the first people to go to, yes.
There you go. Smart move.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah. That's what I mean, because this is what I told people. I said, well, look, once you get your foot in the door, you get that first issue in, they know who you are, they trust you. If it does well, they want you to come back, they want you to do more. So just occasionally saying, oh, look, You know you published the first issue? There you go. There's the second issue. Oh, I got this. You know you got those issues. Here's a new idea. Have a look. You know, there's no harm in doing that at all.
No harm. I mean, the thing is, they're even more liable to publish a manga because, I mean, if you look at the work that they're known for, you know, with Gold Digger, with Ninja High School, it's manga-esque. It's American manga, right? But it's manga.
Yes.
And you look at like just the legacy of some of the other anime titles that they've had, Project Eiko and Robotech. You know what I mean?
Yes. Good, yeah.
Good legacy to be part of. Like I got old Antarctic Press Robotech issues sitting right beside me. If the camera was hooked up, I turned them on. Right. That's sort of the lineage and the legacy and the and the history that this company has that you are now privileged to be a part of, sir. And again, welcome to the brotherhood.
The cult of personality.
The cult of personalities, my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I had to get a reference. I had to get a wrestling reference in.
No, that's it, man. Well, CM Punk is one of my dudes. I mean, I love Punk. Some people don't like Punker, but I love him. You know.
Oh, he's awesome. I just love his bluntness and his.
Well, that's kind of like I've adopted some of that. You know.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
So I've got that in the works. I'm currently in talks with the artist who worked on the first 2 issues. We're ready to start working issue 3.
Yeah.
Getting that going. Outside of Guardian, outside of Bio on Black Vampire Detective, I also dipped my toes because as I was getting this all work, COVID going on, nothing really was getting, well, stuff was getting made, but I thought, what can I do? And basically my wife was like, well, didn't you do GCSE and A-level for art? I'm like, yes. You're an artist? Yes, somewhat. What are you getting at? Well, why don't you try to make a comic for yourself?
Yeah.
Just draw. And I'm like, okay. So I basically started drawing, started colouring, and basically...
Well, you can save yourself a lot of money if you got those skills, you know?
Yeah. So basically I started talking to people. I went, oh, I really like that. Can I possibly get a copy of that so I can colour in with credit, blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, yeah, why not? So just did it for fun.
Yeah.
And then one day I did a piece which is on my ArtStation account for anyone who's interested. If you want to find it, it's Tom Carter Index Sonic.
I think you sent me some links, so I'm going to go into the...
There's a picture I did. I cut it in primarily the foreground. There's a Sonic the Hedgehog in his Super Saiyan, in his version of Super Saiyan, Super Sonic, fighting Final Form Frieza. And I posted that online, and that went somewhat viral within the Sonic community.
Sure,
and I was like, shit. And then out of nowhere, the social media page for Archie Sonic Online contacted me saying, we're coming looking for artists. We come across your work. You want to try out? I was like, what?
Well, at least they didn't say like, hey, you plagiarized our shit. We're going to sue you.
Yeah. I was like, ah. And then I told my wife, and my wife said, yeah, apply. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, fuck, why not, right?
Yeah, I applied. Didn't get the first time. They gave me feedback, which was fair feedback. And went away, learned some more, went back, try again. And they went, you're part of the team. I'm like, awesome. So
well, that's it. I mean, if you know, and people got to understand this, right? If you, apply to these places and they don't take you, right? You know, you can't take it personally. You can't be like, oh, fuck them, right? Listen to actually what they say.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Listen to what they say. And which Tom did, turn around, and it worked for him, you know?
Yeah. Like, I didn't go off on one. I didn't go mad at them and saying, F you, F you, F you. I'm never doing this again, blah, blah, blah. I went, okay, fine. Went away, practiced some more, honed my skills, got better, and went back to them, republished another tryout piece. And I said, here you go. And they went, oh, awesome. And they invited me on. I spoke to the editors. The editors asked me a few questions saying, oh, what got you into Sonic? And blah, blah, blah. Archie Sonic particular. And I was like, this, and this. I gave the answers. And they said, okay, we want you to do the coloring on this issue. And I'm like, awesome. Which, by the way, if you head over to archiesoniconline.com and find issue 54 of Sonic Universe Online, that was my first issue with them that I colored.
And you gave me that link, and I got that right here.
Yeah.
Let me put this into the chat here. And on top of that, I'm just going to bring this up for a second. We are going to wrap it up soon, but let's take a quick peek at this. I'm going to do a share screen, view entire screen, boom, boom, boom. So walk us through it.
So yeah, this is the first of a new story arc, which is good.
Ad block, fuck off. I need a new ad blocker. I just closed it all out. I'm sorry, man. Fucking.
No, it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, just basically,
I'll bring it back up.
It's a start of a new storyline. It's called The Flames of the Rebellion, and I did part 1 of it, which called Kingling. And basically, I did all the coloring on this issue. And I'm not gonna lie, I learned a lot because
now, when you say issues, like, is this an issue that people can buy in stores? Is this available online? Is this officially part of the Sonic universe?
Yeah, this is a part of a fan continuation of Archie Sonic the Hedgehog. Because for those who don't know, Archie back in the 90s up to the early 2010s used to publish the Sonic license. They lost it due to tons of legal issues, and it went to IDW, and they didn't continue the storyline. They rebooted, and this is a fan continuation of that original comic.
So these aren't for sale, because if you were trying to sell these, they would fucking sue you into the ground. You know what I mean?
It's free, and it's done by fans for the fans.
Well, that's awesome. So you obviously have a huge, liking for Sonic then.
Oh yeah. Well, this is what I mean. This is how I got a lot of my work in the first place, because I'm a massive fan of Sonic. I can draw the Sonic characters. I can color the Sonic character. I know these characters very well. I know how to color them. I know how to draw them. I know how to ink them. And that's how I got my start on this sort of thing. And it's how I ended up doing more commission work. And that's how I expanded outwards, doing more stuff outside of Sonic on top of that.
It's actually pretty cool. I'm sort of just flipping through it here. So all this is your art, right?
Yep. It's all, I did all the coloring for it.
But you also did like the line work, the background, like you drew this door, you drew that floor, like.
No, I didn't do the floor. I just did the coloring.
Oh, just the coloring. Okay.
Yeah, I did the coloring. That's what I primarily do for them. I do.
So you're a colorist.
I'm a colorist by trade. Yes.
Okay.
But I do illustrations. I do original stuff. But by doing this, people say, they see your work and they say, "Oh, have you done anything else?" Okay, here's my original work.
Right.
But it gets you noticed, and I say this to people all the time when you do fan projects. It's good learning experience in the sense of you get to hone your craft. Like, you guarantee to work on something.
100%. What advice, Tom, before we part ways, what advice would you give to someone if they came up to you and said, "Hey, I want to try and get into this crazy world of independent comics," what basic advice would you have for them?
Just go for it. Just try. Just pick up a pen. Just get a laptop, get a computer, get a drawing tablet. Just try. If you don't try, you don't know if you can't do it.
Can't get any more basic and simple than that. My advice, I'll add on to that, is just understand what you're getting yourself into. This can be expensive to put together a book, and understand that 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to be the next big thing, right? It's like, what wrestlers would tell, young wrestlers who want to get into business. A, don't do it. B, have a backup plan in case you're not the next Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
No.
In this case, I would say do it, but just understand what you're getting into. To make an issue, for me, bare minimum is $6,000, because I don't draw or color, right? I just write it, so I have to pay everyone. And then you have to try and make that money back. So be careful not to put yourself in debt doing this, and understand, keep your expectations modest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always try to tell people as well, if you're going to do this, try out everything, and then you can find out what you're good at.
Yeah, good advice.
And this is what I mean. This is the reason why I tell people, I can say, well, I can do illustration, I can do coloring, I can do lettering, because I tried it out, I did it, I know I can do it.
You're jack of all trades, my friend.
Production artwork stuff as well.
On top of that, if I still need you to size up a PDF for me, you can do that too. So.
Oh yeah, that's the production art.
I do think I have that part figured out, like I was telling you, but I'm going to get you to double check work anyway down the road here. Once I, get Outbreak 5 fully drawn and we make and I put together the PDF, I'll be like, hey, Tom, can you make sure this is right? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, because that's how I ended up doing production artwork for the Lara Sue Chronicles back a year or two ago, was because I messaged the guy for it, Ken Penders, and I basically just said, I said, do you have any work? Blah, blah, blah. He went, well, I'm looking for this, and this, and this, and this. I went, I know how to use that software. Okay, do you want to be my production artist? Yes.
That's the way it works. Well, listen, Tom, I know it's getting on for you. It's probably like almost 11 o'clock, so I'm going to let you go. Yeah. Thank you so much for being thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a guest here. We're going to touch back again. I think, once I get the issue in hand, we're going to call you back here, if not even sooner. But for sure, when I get the issue in hand. And the other thing that I want to do is just sort of like do an Antarctic Press roundtable where we have Ben Dunn here with a few others, right? And, get you involved, me involved, and maybe a couple other people, and just do like
that'd be amazing.
AP roundtable, something like that.
Yeah.
You down?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Tom, feel free to X out, and I'm just going to carry on for a minute, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers. Thank you for having me on.
No, thanks for being here, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Carter, all his links are there in the chat. Go follow this man up and get yourself Exciting Comics 56. Ask your local comic book shop to order that for you. This is what we're going to do. This is a one-on-one special. It's not really part of my regular schedule. Tom is overseas. We had to do it on a Saturday, and you had to work within his time frame because we have a 4-hour difference, right, across the pond. You know what I'm saying? But we will do more of these one-on-one interviews. I'm not promising a weekly, thing or whatever. Just whenever someone's available and they want to do this, we'll schedule one up and we'll do this. So expect to see these periodically throughout the year. With that being said, please, again, pick up some AP comic books or any other comic books for that matter. And don't forget to check out my eBay store for Nyobi if you're missing out on any back issues of Savage Sin or Nyobi, or if you're looking for that hot variant that you weren't able to get on any of our previous Kickstarters. Now's the time to do that. In fact, here's a little Christmas ad that we had done. Now, I'm going to have to make a new ad because it's a little out of date now, but let's just let this roll. Oh, merry ho-ho, everyone. It's LP, writer and creator of the comic books Nyobi and Savage Sin. I bid you greetings and welcome. Welcome to the end of the internet. This is all that remains. You are the first to arrive and last to survive. I hope you enjoyed the trip, and I hope you're enjoying your holidays. I hope it's nice and relaxing. I hope you're spending time with your family, spending time with yourself, spending time with your buddies. Whatever it is that you're doing, maybe you're enjoying a nice cup of hot chocolate, you're watching a good movie, or maybe you're curled up on the sofa with a cool comic book, which is what we want you to do here today. We want you to come over to the Nyobi eBay store, check out our holiday sale, check out our back issues, our hard-to-find variants. Items from my personal collection are all up for grabs. Everything is discounted. Everything is on sale. Scan the QR code or go to ebay.com, Nyobi Comics. See what it is that we do have to offer. If you're unfamiliar with our books, Nyobi's a J-pop star turned teleporter superhero comic, and Savage Sin is my love letter to dark fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons. They're both great. They're fantastic reads. Good Christmas gift for yourself or for someone else. So go ahead and take part in the sale today. Peace out. Ho, ho, ho.
Popping out of portals, I'm a spark in the dark. Eyes on me, yeah, I'm setting off alarms. Neon in my veins, got that electric charm. Nyobi storm hits, better brace for the harm. Spotlight's mine, I'm the queen of this game. Teleports flash where the wild flames blaze. I rise, I shine like a comet's bright craze. Nyobi's here, world screaming my name. Steel boots strut, I'm rewriting the code. Crowd wants more, but I'm breaking the mold. Portals I bend, got the city on hold. Sassy and savage, my story's retold. Glitch in the system, I'm the beat that don't quit. Ripping through dimensions with my punk rock grit. Haters can't touch me, I'm too legit. Nyobi's the vibe, lighting up every hit. Spotlight light's mine, I'm the queen of this game. Teleports flash where the wild flames blaze. I rise, I shine like a comet's bright craze. Nyobi's hero world screaming my name. Nyobi's hero world screaming my name. Every step I take leaves a digital scar. Pop star hero, I'm your renegade star. Blink and I'm gone, yeah, I'm raising the bar. Nyobi's forever, I'm your cosmic memoir. From Tokyo nights to the streets I night. Genome queen with the power to fight. No chains on me, I'm the future in flight. Nyobi's the name, burning bright in the light. Nyobi's hero world screaming my name. Nyobi's hero world screaming my name. Nyobi's hero world screaming my name.